Afro-Asiatic,
Yeah.
Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah. Afro-Asiatic. Yeah. Of Shemitic descent.
Yeah. Uzi Yahoo.
Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom, Kulam. What's going on? Kind of wait for some of y'all to get on here. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about something real quick. Maybe I call this, the Uzi out real talk with Uzi Yahoo. Shabbat night or something. I don't know. Maybe I might do something around this time. It was just something that I was noticing. I don't know if you all can see me. Oh, shalom, shalom, everyone. Check this out, y'all. I was just thinking about something, right? Well, first, I want to say, okay, I see people joining. First, I want to say Shabbat Shalom to everyone. And I want to say, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Elohim, the creator of the heavens and earth. Hashemayim Weha'adetz, the heaven and the earth. I just want, it was something I was thinking about, was that the blessing and the curses is economic. So Tzedakah, or righteousness in Hebrew, is the economic strategy. And what I mean by that, if you look at the blessings, first, Yah, he blessed us. He promised us the promised land, and of course, with land, you can provide your food, clothing, shelter, health, and depending on the land that you go to, even like the gold or the silver, the diamonds may be inside the land as well. So even your economics can come forth from the land. But I was just thinking, and it was just only one verse that stuck out to me, which is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And it says, "And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." We all know this verse. We all come across this verse. We've coming back to Egypt again in ships or whatever. But it says, "You shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you," which means that if you let's say you had your family and your wife is on the auction block and she costs $50 at that time, or however much, you didn't have the money to buy your freedom, to buy your wife's freedom, to buy your children's freedom. None of your people had any resources to help themselves out, to help you out, to help nobody out. You shall be sold. So us being sold, that's economic. See, what I'm learning is that when we are following righteousness, because you're not supposed to put money, you're not supposed to love money or worship money. So I'm not saying that. This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that our righteous lifestyle, us being righteous, is an economic, we will be in the economic advantage. And us being cursed, or us being in disobedience to the Creator, brings forth economic advantage to our enemies. But regardless, it's economic. Everything is economic. You know what I'm saying? So again, the key verse that made me think about this, it says Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. You know, and Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Usually, you know, when you're importing and exporting, you know, if you exporting something overseas or importing something, you have it, you know, you have cargo products and shit. We was a product. We was an economic product. We were sold. People were buying and selling us. We was a commodity. We was, if I'm not mistaken, the first thing on the stock market. We was the first thing sold on the stock market. So we was a product. You know what I'm saying? We had a price tag. People were selling us and all that, you know. So I just wanted to look at something, because we a lot of times we talk about Deuteronomy chapter 28 verses 15 through 68, and we talk about the curses. But I want to go over Deuteronomy chapter 28 1 through 14, which is the blessing. And if you notice, these blessings will be based on a more prosperous livelihood. So I'm not on no prosperity pimping like these preachers be doing. They say you can do whatever, you believe whatever, you ain't have to follow no laws, and you will get blessed, you'll get prosperity. That's not what it say. That's not what it say. So the true economic strategy is us returning back to the laws of the Creator, returning back to Yah and His Torah. You know, us stop worshiping all these other entities, all these other guys trying to follow the nations and doing what they're doing. We have an emergency. We're in trouble. You know, the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? I'll just read 1 through 14. And it shall come to pass. So this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh thy Elohim, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that Yahweh thy Elohim will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth. And all these blessings is the increase, shall come on thee and overtake thee. So imagine blessings overtaking you. If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy Elohim. That's Tzedakah, that's righteousness. That's us following the Torah, that's us following the statute, laws, and commandments. That's us getting back into a covenant with the Creator. That's us asking and repenting for the sins of our forefathers, our parents, and even us. And us going forth, committing to a covenant with Yah, and us dedicating our children so they can hearken and listen to Yah. So now we can break the curse and go forth with a blessed generation going forth. You know what I'm saying? So it says that if we listen, if we observe, and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that Yahweh the Elohim will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Right now, we the lowest. Right now, people don't think of us as anything. You know what I'm saying? Right now, people use us for economic gain, you know, for our wickedness. Right now, this country was based on the economy of our downfall. This economy was, this nation was based on, it's like, oh, but these people, they messed up. Okay, let's bring them over as slaves. Boom. You know what? We're going to have them help us economically. Because remember, when we're wicked, when we're not on point, that's the economic advantage to our enemies. But when we're righteous, everything switches. Because imagine if the so-called African Americans, imagine if they found out that they was the Hebrews, right? They found out that they was a actual nation. They had a culture, and we based everything upon Tzedakah, upon righteousness. Everything will change. You know, for example, let's start with like food. Food, clothing, shelter. Let's start with food. If we understood Leviticus 11 dietary laws, right? Then that means we will be eating more healthier, more cleaner, and more righteously, right? So a lot of these diseases and a lot of these health situations we're having and surgeries and all this stuff, they won't make money off of us having bad health because we will switch and follow a Tzedakah dietary law, right? Because Tzedakah is a lifestyle, it's not a religion. You know, Israel is a nation, not a religion. We don't have a religion. It's our lifestyle. So righteousness is literally our culture. Everybody can't say that their culture, first of all, everybody can't say that the culture that they was given came from the Creator. That's the first thing. Everybody else made their stuff up. We received our culture from the Creator. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. That's why with our culture, either we follow our culture. If we don't, we get sent to the other nations, and we're going to end up following after the nations, point blank. But our economic power and our strategy is Tzedakah. Back to Leviticus 11. If people was to read the dietary laws, they wouldn't be making money off of us concerning pork, concerning catfish, concerning lobster, concerning shrimp, concerning all these bottom feeders that actually is supposed to clean up the waters. The reason why our waters are infested, because we're eating the animals that was designed that has a different system to clean the boo-boo, to clean the toxins. You see what I'm saying? We didn't have those tools back then. The Creator, with his wisdom, created animals as the cleanup. You know, that was the tool. The tool was live. It was a live animals or live whatever to clean up everything. For example, we had farms, you know what I'm saying, needed to be cleaned. We didn't have any machines, so how was it cleaned up? We had the pigs to eat the boo-boo, eat the slop, eat all the leftovers, so it wouldn't rot. It wouldn't, you know, we'd be eating vultures. The vultures come and clean up the dead roadkill or dead humans or whatever. Everything has a purpose. So if you're eating something that eats toxin, that eats boo-boo, like for example, if I was to eat, let's say you had a pig, it just finished eating rat poison. So that rat poison is in the pig's body and it finished eating boo-boo. And then a venomous snake bites the the stomach or the leg of the pig. So this pig is filled with rat poison, filled with boo-boo, and filled with venom from snakes. So you have three things that's inside this pig, and then we chop it up and we eat it. What will be in our bloodstream, in our system? Rat poison, boo-boo, and venom. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying. So the reason why, if I'm not mistaken, if a snake bites a pig's leg, it won't die. The leg will just swell up. You know what I'm saying? And there's certain things that these animals can eat, these unclean animals, they can eat because they have a different system. They have two different stomachs. The pig doesn't even have a sweat gland. So what did Yah tell us to do? He told us to eat land animals that chewed the cud, because it ate like the grass or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So the clean animals were vegetarian animals. It wasn't scavengers or hunters or nothing like that. And in the water, we would eat fish or whatever that had fins and scales. You see what I'm saying? We would eat quail. A lot of people think it's nasty. We would eat insects that hop, like grasshoppers. That's something that's clean. I mean, a lot of people might not, you know, I'd rather eat grass. I'm vegan, so I don't eat none of that. But I'd rather eat a plate of roasted, clean grasshoppers than eating a pig. You know what I'm saying? I used to eat chitlins. I used to eat chitlins. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, my whole point is that if our whole nation went back to Tzedakah, we went back to righteousness, and we created our whole cuisine, our whole dietary culture based on Tzedakah, a lot of people wouldn't make money off of us, because they'll still be doing the caviar and all these things, and we'd be like, no, we're going to eat righteous, and we take over that area. You know what I'm saying? We take over the area of, we make sure that we're in the forefront of providing clean foods. You know how Muslims, they have halal meats. We will have clean meats, or what they call, what they call kosher meats or whatever. That would be us. We will take control of that. So that's food. Clothing. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to wear 100% fabric, not mixed fabric, not 60% cotton and 40% polyester and all that type of stuff. So again, if we follow that righteous culture concerning clothing, and we maximize and we control that, there you go again. Because a lot of people they'll follow us in wickedness. The nations, the people will follow us in wickedness, but they're not quick to follow us in righteousness. So we can make that our economic base. A lot of different nations, different cultures, they don't want to hear about following righteousness. That's in our advantage. So Tzedakah is our economic strategy. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people might not want to wear fringes, the blue cord, and wear 100% either cotton, linen, or wool. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? If we had our own land, guess what we can do? We can grow our own what? Cotton. That sounds weird. We picking our own cotton to touch the field of cotton. You know what I'm saying? All this money we made for this country. You know what I'm saying? And all the other places, all the other things we did. Imagine if we owned land. We had our own land and we grew our own cotton fields. We grew our own linen plants. We had our own sheep, goats. You know what I'm saying? So that we would have our own wool, our own linen, and our own cotton. And we would be righteous. We would have the blue cord and the fringes. And when you look at the blue cord and the fringes, when you put it on your garments, it's supposed to, Numbers 15:37 to 39. If you read that, we're supposed to look down upon the zitzit. Look down upon, so we can remember to follow the Torah. Remember to be righteous. So even our style will promote Tzedakah, will promote righteousness, because it's a lifestyle. You have different nations. They have different tribes. They have a way of eating. They have clothing. They have culture. We have a culture too. You see, I just showed you a lot of the malnutrition, a lot of the things that we're going through. If we follow Leviticus 11, the dietary laws, and we capitalize on that, it would be righteous. That would be our economic strategy. Righteous. That's the only thing we haven't tried yet. You see what I'm saying? We like, hey man, we're going to get us a shrimp boat or shrimp this and lobster, seafood. Everybody eating crab. Like, a lot of people don't know. Crabs, lobster, shrimp, and all that, they're connected to the family of roaches, cockroaches, like in the hood. So we're eating sea roaches. And they hold all the toxins. You know what I'm saying? So that's the food. If the clothing, we did that, we created our own fabric. We dyed our own fabric, with natural dyes, natural fabrics, and linen and cotton is supposed to be healing to our skin. And it's breathable. Instead of wearing like 100% polyester, you can't breathe, Women wearing stuff, men wearing stuff, you're sweating, it's not breathable. It causing yeast infections and all type of stuff going on. Everything that we imagine, if we was able to do that, well, you can go to a store and it's 100%. We can call it 100%. 100% natural, 100% clean, where everything on the rack, every shirt that you see, 100% cotton, 100% linen, 100% wool. And then the fabrics, we got different designs, 100% cotton, 100% silk, 100% wool. That's all we got. Imagine that. You see what I'm saying? If we did that, that would be an economic advantage for us, because the nations don't want to do that. They want to cheapskate. They want to do all this extra other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's food, that's clothing. What about shelter? See, we had our own land and we followed the agricultural laws that we supposed to work the land for 6 years, let it rest on the 7th, right? So the land can have its Shabbats. There we go again. You see what I'm saying? And the Creator, see, back in those days, we didn't have all this technology. So if we didn't do right, the Creator didn't send any rain. That's what you call drought. So when you had drought, you couldn't what? You couldn't produce your crops. You couldn't produce anything. And if you couldn't produce anything, then the people's going to end up what? Dying. Because sin equals death. You see what I'm saying? Death to your economy. You know, righteousness equals life. It breathes, it births life to your economy. You know, people, I shared something. A woman, she went to a store. She went to a grocery store. And they was treating her like nothing. The guy, he was racist. The people didn't help her out because why? It's all economic. They was worrying about the people who are investing the economics to the store, not your couple of dollars. So what are we going to do? If we're tired marching in the streets, nope. What gave a sting back in the day when Martin Luther King, he boycotted. It was economic that made a change. When they didn't take the bus and they was losing that money, they like, oh, you know what? Because money talks. Money is power. But see, what you do, what you shouldn't do, you should not worship money or love money. You should put the creator first. Seek the kingdom first, then all things will come. You see what I'm saying? So I just spoke about if we had a righteous dietary law, that's food. Righteous clothing, that's clothing. You had land, you grow the different woods and the different things. I mean, we can do straw bale homes. You know, you grow the different grass. You know, they got Sudanese grass or whatever. It takes 90 days to grow. You bale it up. You have whatever type of wood that you have, wherever you at, pine wood or teak wood or whatever type of wood. You set it up. You put the adobe clay over it. You have it solar powered. You got your own house. You can create a village. If we brought acres of land, we can do that. We can build our own cities. But we got to think as a nation, and we got to think about righteousness. Because right now, when this economy started, it started selling you first. It started on your demise. Think about that. Not just yours, you know, those who were here too, the indigenous Americans, the Native Americans who were already here. They got lied to, you know. Their land was stolen. They was hit with disease blankets and all type of, you know, genocide to them. Then they got us and, you know, brung us over to work the land. It was an economic gain for them. A lot of people who are the children of these people, they had a 300-year, close to 400-year economic advantage head start. You know what I'm saying? So imagine if you had a nation of people who worked for you, right, for free. How is it that after slavery, you put them in debt? So they gave you 300, 400-year advantage. As soon as they get out, you take their tools and you put them in debt. So guess what? They got to come back to the land, come back to the fields. So they're still in the same location. Some people, when they had trauma and experienced all of this trauma, post-traumatic slavery disorder. You know what I'm saying? So we deal with food, clothing, shelter, health. If we had our own land, that means we can grow our own food. We can grow our own plants and stuff for clothing. We can grow our own woods and timber to build our houses, or the Sudanese grass, the different grass, or the different things that we need to construct. Bamboo. You know what I'm saying? You can create furniture out of that. You can have your home very holistic, very green, very natural, and then you put in solar power appliances off the grid. We can do that. Tzedakah, righteousness is the economic strategy. So our blessing is our economic advantage. Our curse is the world's economic advantage. So we only deal with people who will understand. You know, we only deal with people who will understand our culture. If we, you know, having allies, different people. Hey, you know what? I'm with that. I'm with supporting you. You know, supporting your Tzedakah lifestyle of B'nai Yisrael. You know what I'm saying? You know, and we can start. You know, we can start building. I ain't trying to go too long or try to keep repeating myself. But I appreciate all those who are watching or whatever. You know, But yeah, I just wanted to read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 1 through 14. This speaks on the blessing. And I'm going to read Deuteronomy chapter 28, 68, which speaks on the curses, but I want to speak on that. Because what I'm saying, our blessing and our curses is economic. Dr. Claude Anderson, anybody who's listening or anyone who may see this video, check him out. Type in Dr. Claude Anderson Powernomics. He told you that racism was economic. He told you that racism was economic. What's the root for racism? Racism is race. What is race? To compete, right? So when you have a group who's competing with you and they have the economic power and have the power to control your economy, control your people economy, that's racism. Discrimination is not liking your skin color. So it's a melting pot of discrimination and racism. Oh, I don't like your skin color, I'm discriminating. That's discrimination. But you know what? Us being in poverty, that's the economic strategy. Because, for example, let's say you're in a neighborhood, a poverty-stricken neighborhood. So someone sets up a store that's not from your neighborhood, and they may sell something to you that may be $4. But in more affluent neighborhoods, it might be $2. Because you gotta get it. Because you're in your neighborhood. This is the only store in the area, right? So I can charge these high prices, and you have to buy it, because if not, you need to get the food to survive, right? So we need to stop depending on everyone else and start doing for ourselves. And it don't take a lot. I got something. I call it the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew Wall Street. So Afro-Asiatic Hebrew Wall Street. That's one thing I'm coming up with. And under that, it's going to be called Power 100 and Power 1000. So the premise or the theory is, ideally, everything's ideal. If you had 100 people, and they all put in, I'm not trying to talk about money, I'm just giving you an example of the blessing and the curses. So it's not me just talking about money. You see what I'm saying? You had 100 people, and they all put $1,000 in the pot, right? That's $100,000 in the span of however long it takes you. You know what I'm saying? You can have people, or you can have 1,000 people, and they put in $100. Boom, $100,000. However, whichever number you can achieve, you do the opposite. If you have 100 people, everybody put in $1,000. You have 1,000 people, everybody put in $100. There's places there was one place, I think, in a certain area, they had about 100. Did they have 100 acres? They had like 120 acres for $100 and some $1,000. So imagine if 100 people put in that $100 something $1,000, they buy that 120 acres. Boom, they can set up their city. Everything I'm saying is ideally. Like, I don't know all the meticulous ins and outs. I'm just trying to give you an example of how, how easy it is. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't take a lot. You can have a bunch of people. You can have 1,000 people working at McDonald's. If they put in $100, boom. And imagine if these 100 people or 1,000 people, imagine they made a covenant. Like, you know what? For a whole year, we're going to make a covenant, and each month we're going to put this in. So imagine they did that, right? So you had the 100 people, they make a covenant. They're like, look, they all share the same vision. They're like, you know what? We're going to put in money. We're going to deal with food, clothing, shelter, health, transportation, tourism, education, business, funding, solar, all type of stuff, right? And each month they have $100,000 to kickstart that area. So the first month we put in our $1,000, 100 people, we put in our $1,000. Boom. This is the food area. Those of us who wants to specialize or create that industry and create jobs, boom. all of us, we put $100,000 toward that. They take that $100,000 and set up what they need. If they need land, if they need tools, workers, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then whatever they do, then that'll get the ball rolling. Then they'll start making money in that industry. And then we find a way for them, once they get going, they put back, they give back. And we just keep it going. Every time we set you up, you give back. You feel what I'm saying? Simple. So food, so clothing. So we put $100,000, whoever's in the clothing. But remember, everything is based off righteousness, though. You feel me? The food, we're going to set everything up according to our Tzedakah righteous culture. We won't be doing nothing that's not righteous. That's our niche. That's our economic niche. Everybody wants to talk about, oh, but we don't want to deal with this. That's cool. Our allies will be those who respect and understand what we do. You know what I'm saying? And we have African nations and African brothers and sisters who deal with us as well. Don't get it twisted. Don't let nobody trick you. I talk to a lot of different elders from Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia, Ethiopia, Eritrea. I speak to Somalis, Oromos, all type of people. You know what I'm saying? All type of people. So what I'm saying is that Tzedakah righteousness would be our economic strategy. Like I told you, with the food, you have that. You have that area. With the clothing, with the shelter, you set up another industry. With that, it's all we base our whole lifestyle, our whole culture, our whole economy will be based off righteousness, because right now, this economy is based on our downfall, on our wickedness, on our ignorance, you know, everything. Like, for example, you have a lot, you know, you have the bottle industry, you got the strip club industry, you got all these things. We blowing that money for what? You got people bragging and talking about, man, I just made it rain. You know what I'm saying? They doing $1,000 to $5,000 a night, right? And let's say they going for let's say somebody spending $5,000 either in the strip club or the club. They buying out the bar. They paying the strippers. We doing all this stuff, right? So let's say they did that for 5 nights straight. That's $25,000, but we say we broke. You know how many brothers is doing that? What's up with your mind? That could have started a business right there that can give people jobs. That can be some seed money to start up a business that can employ people. I mean, you can buy some land, you can buy some equipment, you can buy a whole bunch. There's so much you can do, but it's because of, see, we're selfish. It's about our own greed, our own selfishness, our own lust. Think about it. Why are you spending all this money over lust and over some woman's body, booty? You know what I'm saying? Vagina, breast. Come on, y'all. We got to do better than that. So the brothers, we're paying all this money, wasting our economy. Well, we have $2 trillion spending power. So we're wasting that money, what? To satisfy our lust and our ego. You know what I'm saying? And then now we got the sisters, they're getting implants, this and that, getting all this stuff. So then they can get the top dollar. Oh, if I get this and I might be able to make a little bit more money. You see what's going on? We need to change the psychology of our brothers and change the psychology of our sisters. You see what I'm saying? We need to give encouragement to our brothers and sisters. We need to let them know, no, brother, you a king. A lot of people feel uncomfortable with that. But we've been called nigga, we've been called all this downtrodden stuff. I'm calling brothers kings and I'm calling sisters queens. Well, that ain't this and that ain't that, but that ain't that. Well, look, we need to get our confidence up. We need to get because our self-esteem is very low. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be petty and tick. Oh, well, you know, no, man, we gotta do something different. We have to do something different. You know what I'm saying? We have to encourage natural beauty, righteous beauty, right? Because if sisters, you have a lot of sisters, some sisters can't grow their hair that long. Some sisters have natural long hair. Some sisters have naturally short hair, whatever. But that's our insecurities. It's economic, but it's against us. Think about it. When we're wicked, that's economic advantage for the nations. When we don't value who we are, our culture, that's economic advantage. When we're insecure, that's economic advantage. You see what I'm saying? All, sorry, something happened here. That's economic advantage. So, case in point, my whole thing is that, and we tell our sisters, you know what? However your length, we loving it, we appreciate it, we feeling it, and our sisters, we find different ways and different styles to make our sisters feel beautiful, make them feel good with wherever they at, wherever length. When we stop judging people, man, stop hating on each other, because that's Willie Lynch, that's Stockholm syndrome, that's post-traumatic slavery disorder syndrome. So if we do those things, because a lot of our sisters, they don't feel confident, man. You know what I'm saying? We tell them, hey, you know what, sis? I want you to look like white supremacy. Because of slave, I want that feel. I want you to look like this, blonde this, and then boom, 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 boom. It's like, if your hair, if you're not an Aboriginal from Australia, when they say Aboriginal, they're really the original people of Australia. We call them we don't call them, but they call them Aboriginal. No, they are the original indigenous people of Australia, melanated people who had blonde hair. Now, hey, if that's your natural hair color, cool. We need to support that. Sisters doing perms and doing all these different things. I know sisters, people are doing that. I'm not trying to hate on nobody. I'm just saying that if the brothers, I'm talking about our brothers, if we value the skin color of our sisters, regardless if they red bone or blackberry, we should love that. We have a variation of all these different skin tones and hues. It's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It's not just one thing. Like, hey, sister, chocolate, blackberry, red bone, mocha, latte, or all that stuff. We celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? We let a sister know you don't need no bleaching cream. You feel what I'm saying? It's like Sammy Sosa looking crazy out here. But anyway, sister, you don't need no bleaching cream. Sister, you don't need to put nothing. We got the styles. And then if sisters encourage the brothers as well. Because everybody got different insecurities. Black sisters, they got certain insecurities. Brothers got certain insecurities. So we doing certain things. We just love and appreciate who we are and keep everything in a righteous spirit, righteous format. Loving your neighbor, loving your brother, loving your sister. Then I think things will change. Then we can flip. Because see what's going to happen? The economy was based on our wickedness. The economy is going to crash once we go back to righteousness, because it has to, boom, that wicked economy has to fall, and it has to build back up in righteousness. You see what I'm saying? So our blessing and our curse is economic. When we are wicked, when we're not on point, when we're not righteous, it's an economic advantage to the nations. When we're not confident with who we are, it's an economic advantage to the nations. When we are righteous, when we are right, it's an economic advantage to us. I just gave y'all the examples of food, clothing, shelter, health. All right, I'm going to just read this, and then I'm going to read 1 through 14, and I'm going to read 2868, and I'm going to say goodnight to y'all, and I appreciate everyone who's, listen, I can't see any comments right now, so I'll check it once I get off. All right, and it says, so I'm gonna start at Deuteronomy 28. I'm gonna start at verse 1, and I'm gonna read 1 through 14, because we don't talk about the blessings enough. You know what I'm saying? I want to speak life. I did psychology. We have to change our mind. We have to change our attitude. We have to change our faces toward each other. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hey, cuz. Oh, hey, how you doing, cuz? So I'm going to read Deuteronomy 28, starting in verse 1. This shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice. Y'all about to hear the economic blessings. Listen. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh thy Elohim, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that Yahweh thy Elohim will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings, that's increase, shall come on thee and overtake thee if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy Elohim. Blessed shall thou be in the city, and blessed shall thou be in the field. That's giving people hope. Come on, man. Blessed shall the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kin, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket, and thy store. Blessed shall thou be when thou comest in, when you're born, or when you comest in, and blessed shall thou be when thou goest out. Yahweh shall cause thy enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee 7 ways. Yahweh shall command the blessings upon thee in thy storehouses, and in all thou sittest thy hand unto, and he shall bless thee in the land which Yahweh thy Elohim giveth thee. See, land, that's the blessing. That's the economic empowerment. Land. We got to think land, not rams, not cars. Land, not land. Yahweh shall establish thee a holy or a set apart Kodesh people unto himself, as he hath sworn unto thee. If thou shalt keep the commandments, what? If thou shalt keep, shalom, shalom. If thou shalt keep the commandments of Yahweh thy Elohim and walk in his ways, and all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of Yahweh, and they shall be afraid of you. If you what? If you keep the commandments, righteousness. People will be afraid of you for keeping, that's your power, that's your strength. And Yahweh shall make thee plenteous in goods, and the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of the ground, in the land which Yahweh swore unto thy fathers to give thee. Yahweh shall open unto thee, Yahweh shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven to give the rain, right, unto the land in his season, to bless all the work of thy hand. And thou shalt lend, hold on, we shall be a lending institute. We shall lend unto many nations, that thou shalt not borrow. Hey, bro, can I get a loan? Hey, sis, can I hold something? No, what are you talking about? When you're righteous, you don't have to borrow nothing. We won't have to be begging. We won't have to be, hey, can I get this? We need this. We need that. When we are right. Now, this is the one thing our people haven't done yet. We haven't followed righteousness as the economic strategy. And transforming our whole culture, everything we say, do, we have not, we have not, hold on. Thank you. We have not transformed. That's the one strategy we haven't used. And this right here is telling you right here, right? All right. So let me say this again. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 12. And Yahweh shall open unto thee his good treasures, the heaven to give the rain unto thy land in his season, and to bless all the work of thy hand. And thou shalt lend unto the nations, and thou shalt not borrow. All right. 13. And Yahweh shall make thee the head and not the tail. We be eating that oxtail. We be eating them chillings. We eating tail. No, we ain't supposed to be eating no hog head, hog head cheese. We ain't supposed to be eating nothing unclean. I just want to throw some shots at ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We be eating that tail. We be eating the rooter to the tutor. But anyway, let me stop. But Leviticus 11, that's the righteous dietary laws. But let me finish. And Yahweh shall make thee the head and not the tail. And thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath, if thou hearkens unto the commandments of Yahweh the Elohim, which I command thee this day, to observe and to do them. So he only needed 14 verses to tell you about the blessing. Back in those days, we didn't have all this technology, right? We didn't have no toupee grass. A lot of this grass man, the land out there, the dirt be nasty. It'd be, you know, basically dry. And we just put the nice little green artificial turf grass over it to make it seem like the grass is, but underneath that is some bad grass. It's some bad soil. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no rain, you know, droughts and stuff like that. You know, we ain't gonna lie. Back in those days, if you was right and you was righteous, the Creator will send rain. The rain will increase your crops. The increase your crops means you can eat. You see what I'm saying? If he increase your cotton crops and your linen crops, then you have clothes. If he increases the timber, then you have stuff to build house. If he sends the rain, if he increases the then you can eat, you can have food, clothing, shelter, health, all of that. You have to be right. What does he say? What does he say? Let me read that again. Sorry. 12. I'm going to just read that one more time. Yahweh shall open up thee his good treasure, economic treasure, the heaven to give the rain unto thy land in his season, and to bless, that means to increase, bless all the work of thy hand, and thou shalt land unto the nations, land you having economic power to lend to the nations. Right now, that's not so. Man, bro, I can't get a loan, bro, to do my business, to get it cracking. We always, man, brother, can I borrow some? Man, let me borrow something. I got you. And I'm on E. You know what I'm saying? So we be borrowing and lending to each other. Everybody's on E. Everybody's in poverty, and we all trying to steal and cutthroat each other, and we all in the same boat of poverty. You know why? Why we're not in our land? We don't even think about having our own land. Every other people on earth is about sovereignty, is about land, about protecting their land, about developing their land. We're the only people. We're not on it. We're not about that. We don't even think land is of importance. If you brought a certain type choice land, you can get your food, clothing, shelter. Oh, hallelujah. Hallelujah. You know? So, all right, so let me read some of the things that will happen to us if we don't follow our covenant and we don't follow the commandments. Check this out. Now so I had to read the blessings first to let you know that Deuteronomy chapter 28 verses 1 through 14. I don't know if a lot of Hebrews say this, so I'm going to be the first to say it. When you want to look at the description of the Hebrews, if we are right, this proves we are Hebrews too. That we shall be blessed in the city, blessed in the fields. You know what I'm saying? We should have these blessings. That's supposed to prove we Hebrews too. I'm trying to be an Afro-Asiatic Hebrew. That's Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14. That I'm following the Torah and I'm also receiving the blessings because I'm following the commandments of Yah. I want to have righteousness as my economic strategy. Even when you're doing business, a lot of people be doing Shark Tank businesses. Where you have a brother, he's trying to cutthroat the other brother, try to lord over the other brother, and try to do all this crazy stuff. No, man, even business, we should bring righteousness and bring the Creator into business. Where we ask the Creator to bless our hand, bless our business that is done in righteousness, that is done in order, that we're not bribing the people, that we're not defrauding the people, that our scales is proper, that we're not cheating the people. You know what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. Even businesses, put Torah in your business. Put righteousness in your business. Because if we start trusting each other, we can do a lot. Come on, man. Don't take a lot. And everybody ain't going. Even Jay-Z, he talking about, he said something about strip club. What better than putting your money in a strip club? He said credit. I mean, we've been saying, you know, Hebrews, you have people, we've been saying economic stuff for years, but you know what I'm saying? You know, but hey, if some people want to now listen because Jay-Z said it, that helps us out. Cool. Just it don't matter who say it. We got to get on it. Group economics. Because us as a group, we hold billion and trillion dollars spending power. But us divided, we're poor. Us united, Africa unite, we stand. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I read Deuteronomy 28 verses 1 through 14. It talks about, it talks about the blessings, right? And that's our economic strategy. And we don't get into any industries, like we don't get into the seafood industry or the pork industry. Or first, if we're going to deal with food, let us know what is righteous foods to consume and have. You understand? Even if, we got to cater, but we also got to cater to our nation. Everybody don't eat meat. You have some people, we're vegans. Some people are vegetarians. And some people will be clean. So we'll be clean meat eaters, vegetarians, and vegan. And those who may have like celiac or whatever specialty stuff, like gluten-free or nut-free or whatever. We can have someone that goes into the business to specialize into the specialty. Like, man, I have celiac, or I have a bad peanut or nut or something like that. So then you will have a place that can specialize so we can feed our people and help with all of our needs. Come on, y'all. We got to stop joking. Like, oh, man, you vegans. Look, man, that ain't righteous. That ain't right. To hate on the vegan, oh man, y'all brothers vegans. Nope, don't do that. We have a place. We don't cross contaminate. If you're going to be a place, if you do the clean meats, that's cool. Make sure you cook everything properly. We don't do like the Gentiles where we're eating raw meats where it's blood dripping out, uncooked. We don't do that. Life is in the blood and disease is in the blood. You know what I'm saying? So if you eating and, oh, I want it juicy. What? The blood, brother, that ain't blood. That's the enzyme. Look, the Creator in righteousness, he told us he said, do not be as the Gentiles. For they deal with the blood and they're not eating their food all the way. You know what I'm saying? With us, because we don't have to follow what all the other nations. We just do us. We ain't worrying about if the other nation judge us. Oh, well, we ain't with that. We ain't worried about that. We gonna follow our righteousness. We gonna do what we do. And if they rock with us, that's cool. Then those are our allies. If they don't rock with us, cool. Then we keep that in mind. Like, okay, well, these are the people that don't want to support our people, our nation, prospering. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be international. We got to deal with people, especially starting on the continent. We got to deal with our African brothers and sisters who's showing us love. It might not be everybody. That's cool. So we go and we look for our people who's going to love us, deal with us, and support us, following a righteous lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? That's food, clothing, shelter, health, transportation, business, funding, all that. So now let me read. So again, I know new people are coming in. Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14 talks about the blessings. So when we are righteous, when we are in our blessing, it's an economic advantage for us. When we are wicked, when we're not doing right, it's an economic advantage for all the other people, for all the other nations. And that's why a lot of nations don't want us to be righteous. Oh, brother, that's lame. Anybody who's against it, let's not deal with them. We ain't wasting time with that. Even our own people. Oh, bro, that righteousness, that's lame. Okay, you know what? Hey, I respect that. No problem. We just only deal with the people who wants to deal with it. We ain't forcing nobody to do nothing. We ain't convincing nobody to do nothing. We ain't worried about that. We only want to deal with the people who see the vision. We're not wasting no time. And we just start building. They'll see the blessing. You know what I'm saying? They'll see the blessing and we just keep it moving. We ain't got to waste time with none of that. We ain't got to waste time. All right. So now let me read some of the curses. So this is our economic disadvantage. This is going to bring advantage to the nations. Check this out. It's all economic, man. Racism is everything's economic. Your freedom is economic. Your curse is economic. Wickedness is economic. Righteousness is economic. It's all money. It's all economic. Check this out. All right, Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh the Elohim, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses or poverty shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Poverty or curse shall thou be in the city. Because blessing means to increase. So what's the opposite of blessing? Curse. So what's the opposite of increase? Decrease. Decrease shall thou be in the city, and decrease shall thou be in the field. I know it says curse. I'm just trying to give you the understanding. Decrease shall thy basket and thy store. Decrease shall the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, and the increase of thy kin, and the flocks of thy sheep. Decrease shall thy be when thou comest in, and decreased or cursed shall thy be when thou goest out. Now check this out. This is an economic disadvantage for us, because when we're having problems, we have to pay more. Listen, Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 20. Yahweh shall send upon thee cursing, vestation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thy hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, until thou perish quickly. Do you know these people benefit economically when you die? When you're born, they getting you on the economic level. When you die, they're benefiting from your birth. They're benefiting from your death. They're benefiting from your organs. They're benefiting from if you're sick. And if you try to be on a health kick, and if they started first, then they're going to benefit from you trying to be healthy. You see what I'm saying? And all that thou settest thy hand unto do, until thou be destroyed. So your destruction is their economic gain. It's the nation's economic gain. And until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Yahweh shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it. 22. Yahweh shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with inflammation, with extreme burning, with the sword, with blasting, with mildew. They shall pursue thee until thou be perished. Yep. Hallelujah. Check this out. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. Yahweh shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. Remember, we just read in Deuteronomy 28:12. I'm going to just read that one more time. In Deuteronomy 28:12, Yahweh shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven, to give the rain unto thy land in his season, and to bless all the work of thy hand. And thou shalt lend unto the nations, and thou shalt not borrow. But now we're talking about the curses. Let's go back. Curse means increase. Curse means decrease. Blessing means increase. Now let me finish. Check this out. 25. Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against your enemy, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. That's slavery. Every nation that we went into as slave, we helped that nation get economic advantage. Think about it. So when we was in Israel, and we got and our exile started in 70 AD. Our temple started in 70 AD. What happened? We fled into Africa. Some of us was taken to Europe and Asia. You see what I'm saying? But some of us fled into Egypt. Some of us went from Israel to Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and crossed over to Ethiopia. So a lot of these different lands, you're gonna start finding Shemitic Africans. So let's say before Israel. And I'm not hating on Africa. Because if Israel would have did our part, we wouldn't have been taken by anybody. It's our fault. We made a covenant. Remember, he said, I knew no other nation but you, Israel. Israel made the covenant. B'nai Yisrael. Look. B'nai Yisrael. Look, let me show you something. B'nai Yisrael. B'nai Yisrael. The children of Israel. I know it don't say in these different languages, it don't say B'nai Israel. B'nai Israel is in Hebrew. B'nai means children. Israel is the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just showing you what the words of the children. This is Tigrinya. This is what children of Israel look like. That's on my shirt. This is what children of Israel looks like in Amharic. This is what the children of Israel looks like in Hebrew. And this is what the children of Israel looks like in Arabic. The children of Israel. We even got Israel in the hieroglyphics. So I'm hitting you. You know what I'm saying? All the places that we went, when the children of Israel, when we went through, we helped these nations to build. It was an economic advantage for them, but it was a downfall for us. So our wickedness, what is he saying? Listen, let me read it again. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 25. Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them. Because you know what? When we're wicked, Yah ain't with us. And if Yah ain't with us, we are not going to win against our enemy. We're not going to win. Point blank, we're not going to win against our enemy. You know what I'm saying? All right. Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemy. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed unto all the kingdoms of the earth. That's the Indian Ocean slave trade, the Islamic Arab slave trade, which is the Indian Ocean slave trade. So all of our people, Bantu, we have Yibir, we have all type, the Falasha or Beit Israel, we have the Lemba, we have a bunch of people in that area where we start getting demised. And we start bringing forth our servitude, our slavery was economic advantage and gain for these people. And it says, and you shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Deuteronomy 28, verse 25. That's the slave trade. Check this out. Everywhere, into all kingdoms of the earth. Check this out. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fry them away. Strange fruit on the trees. I'm pretty sure you have vultures eating on us when we was dropped out on the dish, hanging on these trees. Yahweh shall smite thee. Deuteronomy 28:27. Yahweh will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emeroids, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou canst not be healed. Check this out. 28. Yahweh shall smite thee with madness, and blindness, and astonishment of heart. 29. After I read this, and then I'll just go over some more stuff, and I'll be done. But I'm gonna just take you through. I'm gonna read up into verse 68. If you with me, it shouldn't take that long. Check it out. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. No man shall save thee. Why? Because our wickedness is now their economic gain. And now we got madness, because a lot of black people, we got psychological issues because post-traumatic slavery disorder. We need some healing. And the healing is a righteous mind, righteous spirit, righteous attitude, and love. Yep. Check this out. Now, in slavery, we heard of this because, remember, the Hebrew man, woman, and child was loaded up on the ships. Listen. The Hebrew man, it wasn't just the man, Hebrew men, woman, and child was loaded up on these slave ships, right? Check this out. 30. Thou shalt be betrothed a wife, or be engaged to a wife, and another man shall lie with her. That was when the slave masters was raping our women. There we go. So slave masters, he would knock on your door. You got to step out, sir. You know what I'm saying? If he would have done anything, he would have got killed on the spot. If his woman would have done anything, she would have been killed on the spot. Point blank. So that was a emasculating situation for our men. Because if I stand up and be a man, I'm gonna be hanging on that tree, and he gonna rape the woman. He gonna rape our women anyway. So if I don't do nothing, if I stay alive, he gonna rape her anyway. But then now I got to go through the humiliation and the being emasculated and our manhood taken away because of that. You see what I'm saying? So now psychologically, even today, you have you have some of our women. They don't really. I need the cord for this. You can just set it right there. Yeah. So don't worry about it. I think is it over there. Yeah, I got it. Sorry, hold on, y'all. I gotta charge up. I don't know if it'll fit. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Well, you know what? I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. All right. So anyway, that was economic. Sorry about that. That was economic gain. Plus, they was breeding women. They would tell one slave, "Hey, look, man, I want you to come, cause you the strong slave on the field. I want you to come and I want you to lay with this woman." And it didn't matter if so. The slave master would take a slave to go breed with another woman, even if that woman was married or not. So the first thing, the women, they psychologically felt that the men couldn't help them out. So they feel like, oh, we can't be protected by the men, which if we don't have unity, if we don't have unity, then that's an economic disadvantage for us. Then you got the men, because of that stuff going on, they're like, man, they feeling a certain way about the women because it happened. She didn't have no power and the man didn't have no power. So he's like, so now there's need to be a reconciliation between the black man and the black woman. So it's like, oh, well, she's like, oh man, you didn't help me out. We was getting raped. Well, you should have been there. Well, okay, if I would have manned up like that, I would. Do you want me hanging on the tree and you still get raped? Or do you want me So do you want, do you want me hanging on the tree? Do you want me hanging on the tree? Or do you want me alive, but I still got to go through the humiliation? So that's Deuteronomy 28:30. Thou shalt betroth the wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, right? What? We build the White House. We build all these different constructions and all this stuff. And thou shalt not dwell therein. The Hebrew man has never dwelt in the White House that we built, that the Hebrew slaves built. The highest that we ever had was the black woman. So she stepped in there. She was from Chicago. So she stepped in the White House. There will never be a black man from the struggle, from slavery, ever step foot up in there. Because they won't trust him. Point blank. That's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. So we're done with that. But the Willie Lynch letter, is stated that they want to deal with the woman and the children, have the man in the back. All right. Thou shalt plant a vineyard and shall not gather the grapes thereof. We was doing cotton. We was doing grape. We was doing all type of stuff. Thou shalt be slain before thy eyes, and thou shall not eat thereof. Thy donkey shall be violently taken away before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thy enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. Thy son, check this out, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fill with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. That's when we was taking off. Remember Roots, Kizzy and them being taken to different, Kunta and all these people. That's us. The fruit of the land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. So thou shalt be mad for the sight of thy eyes, which thou shalt see. Yahweh shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy feet unto the top of thy head. Yahweh 36. Yahweh shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, into a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. So, they talk about how we was from different kings I'm gonna do it this way. Plug up this way. Hold on 1 second. There we go. I think that worked. Sorry about that, y'all. All right, sorry about that. All right. So, you know, you had some Ashanti king. You had certain kings. We came over here, you know, and we was brought to this nation. Whatever status we was broken down. Right. So Yahweh shall bring thee a night king, which thou set over thee unto a nation, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shall serve other gods, woods and stone. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the nations which Yahweh shall lead thee. So we're being called nigger, black, coon, porch monkeys, all these things. We called everything but besides who we are. You know what I'm saying? So us not knowing who we are is economic advantage for the nations. So once we come back being a nation, we come back loving each other, we come back being one, returning back to our culture, to the righteous culture that Yah gave us. You know what I'm saying? Then that becomes our economic advantage. All right. I'm gonna just skip down some. It's talking about we'll plant vineyards, we won't drink. You know, we always talk about wine and bottles and stuff like that. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shall neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worm shall eat them. Thou shalt have olive trees, so olive oil throughout all thy coast, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thy olive shall cast its fruit. Thou shalt beget, you know, birth sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. You know, you had a lot of us, we was going to different plantations, going to different countries everywhere. You know what I'm saying? All thy trees and fruit of thy land shall the locusts consume. The stranger that is within thy gate, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to you, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt not be the tail. When I read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 1 through 14, it said that we was going to be the head. It said that we was going to lend. Now, because we messed up, we're on the opposite end of the economic advantage. We are used to bring forth the prosperity to everyone else because we're staying in wickedness. Right? Moreover, 45, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, or poverty, or the decrease shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy Elohim to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. So even like the wood and stone, those are different. People worship money, people worship jewels, ice. You got religions that have wood, you got religions that have stone, idols, things that's made with the hands, all these different things, stones, meteorites, all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to read Deuteronomy chapter 4 to end everything, to keep us on point. And I'm almost done. I'm going to read the 68, then I'm going to read some verses in Deuteronomy 4, and we're going to call it a good night. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder upon thy seed forever. Yep, that's right, Jesus. Yep, that's right. Because thou servest not Yahweh the Elohim with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shall thou serve, or bring economic prosperity. Check this out. Therefore shall thou serve thy enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. What's the yoke of iron? Remember when we came over here, we had that yoke of iron. You see what I'm saying? We came over here butt naked. We ain't had nothing. Right? So we're serving our enemies in hunger and everything. Because we came over here butt naked, that means any clothes that we have is all coming from our enemy. So, You need a t-shirt, you need some underwear, you got to pay for that. So that's the economic advantage for our enemies, for our strangers, for the nations. But see, if we had our own land and we was in our own land and we was growing our own linen, our own cotton, and we had our sheeps and goats and having our own wool and all that type of stuff, that would be our economic advantage. Even water. You know, we got to buy everything. You know, and we came over here with a yoke of iron. You know what I'm saying? But this is to the nation of Israel. Remember, this was written. Remember, Moses received the Torah on Mount Sinai or Jabal al-Laws or Northwest Saudi Arabia, or what we call Midian, in 1446 BCE. That's before Christianity, that's before Islam, and that's before Judaism. You had the nation of Israel. You had the nation of Israel, the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew nation. We received the Torah, and we was in what they call Saudi Arabia, Midian, before anything. And Jabal al-Laws or Jabal al-Moshe, or what we call Mount Sinai, is a real place that where if you have the scriptures, you can see the mountain when it was burnt up top, the split rock, everything like it's a scavenger hunt. You read the scripture, oh, there it goes right there. Go to YouTube, look up the real Mount Sinai, Jabal al-Laws, Jabal al-Moshe. You know what I'm saying? Saudi Arabia, you know, Midian. That was the land of Midian, and the Midianites was black. Because Moses' father-in-law was Jethro. He was a Midianite. You know what I'm saying? But check this out. Verse 48. Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle. Eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. What nation is from the... Africa is on the eastern hemisphere. America is on the western hemisphere. What bird represents America? The bald what? Eagle. So a nation, not a religion. Yahweh shall bring a nation against a nation, because we are a nation. So a nation that's under the eagle or representing it. But there's a bunch of different nations too. You got Rome. You got you got a bunch of other different ones that represent the eagle. Egypt, right? The phoenix, the eagle, the bird. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? The bald eagle, because America is mirroring itself after Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So but that's a whole nother thing. Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. They killing the old, they killing the young. They had the old, they had our elders on the field, they had the young. It didn't matter if you was a little kid. They was raping the kids, destroying the old. It didn't matter who you were. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed. Is their economic advantage? Our economic demise, which also shall not leave thee corn. That's a crop. Wine. That's a product. Or oil, or the increase of thy kin. Oh, this is the wrong one. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I got to charge this up. All right. All right. Sorry about that. I'm trying to charge up something. All right. 52. I'm just trying to quickly get through this. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trusted, throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all the land which the Lord, which Yahweh the Elohim giveth thee. Right? And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which Yahweh the Elohim have given thee in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee. I did hear, if I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I think around 66 AD to 70 AD, when the Romans, when they seized us into Israel, we was literally eating our kids, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Cannibalistic type stuff. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. It says, so that the man that is tender or soft among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother. So this black on black violence, that's soft. That's not cool. Righteousness is the strength. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to be hating your brother. You know what I'm saying? No, you ain't supposed to do it. You're supposed to have love. Oh, yeah, man, I'm about to shoot up brothers and stuff like that. That's not okay. So the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom. We got to take care of our women. Oh, I'm sorry. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother. Most of our music, see, if you want to get somewhere, hey, brother, I need you to rap about how you going to be drilling and killing your brother in the cities. That's how you get your stripes. I want you to be hating on your brother. You know what I'm saying? So that the man that's tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. You know what I'm saying? Yep. 55. So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left him in the siege and in the straitness wherein thy enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates. 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. I don't know if that's talking about high heels or a pedestal. I don't know what that's talking about. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But the tender and delicate woman amongst you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom. Independence, and toward her son and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, who she give birth to, and toward the children which she shall bear. For she shall eat them for one of all things secretly in the siege and straitness wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. See, this stuff is twofold. This historically happened at a time in history, but it's also prophetic in the future as well. You know what I'm saying? 58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou may fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahweh thy Elohim. So right there, you know, these curses or this poverty or this stuff is coming upon us because we're not following to observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, and thou mayest fear Yahweh thy Elohim. 59. Then Yahweh will make the plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long countenance, and sore sickness, and of long countenance. So our diseases is 60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and thou shalt cleave unto thee. If we're in Egypt again, we're getting all this stuff. We're being attacked on a biological disease level, and plus unrighteous eating habits, because we're not following Leviticus 11, and unrighteous clothes that we're wearing, unrighteous things. You know, Leviticus 18, unrighteous acts. We're doing whoredom, we're doing fornication, we're doing adultery, stealing people. Why? We're doing all type of stuff. That's why we have these disease. They talking about super gonorrhea and all this super stuff. If you was right in Yah, you wouldn't be having this stuff. And monogamy or polygyny. If you was righteous, this stuff would not be coming forth. We got cancer, diabetes. We having all this stuff. Why? Why? Because we didn't do. Check it out. 60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. When you sick, that's an economic advantage for your enemies. That's an economic disadvantage for you, because if you sick, you can't work, so which means you can't make money. You know what I'm saying? And because my people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge, we don't have any idea concerning healing herbs and all this type of stuff. And if we had our land, and if we had those seeds and we was growing this stuff, we can heal each other. It's crazy. All right. 61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of the law. then will Yahweh bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. So even these new diseases and these new things are going to be coming upon us. 62. And you shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou was not obey the voice of Yahweh the Elohim. Tzedakah is our economics. See, now we was a lot. It was a lot of us. We were producing. It was a lot of us. Now guess what? We're dying. We're dying. We're at, I don't know, at 40-something million. When we at 40-something million, 20-something years ago? We aborted 40-something million children. We have aborted the number of black babies, Hebrew babies, as we have now. You know what I'm saying? And you got population control where you got our enemies. They're trying to kill us with food, clothing, shelter, water, health, everything. All right. But all this stuff, it says, you shall be left few in number. I'm almost done. I'm at verse 62, Deuteronomy 28, verse 62. And you shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou was not obey the voice of Yahweh the Elohim. And it shall come to pass that as Yahweh rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you. Remember, blessing is increased, right? So Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And you shall be plucked from off the land which thou goest to possess it. 64. And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people. This happened to the Afro-Asiatic Hebrews. It didn't happen to nobody else. It happened to us, the so-called African Americans. This is talking about us. We're the ones who's going through all this stuff. You know, not even hating on the Jews and Israel. This not going this. I've even had Jews who said we are the true Hebrews. So this ain't no. This shouldn't even be. You know, this shouldn't even be a secret thing. You even have Jews who confirm this. Check this out, verse 64. And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all the people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. 65. And among these nations shall thou find no ease. We find no rest, right? Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but Yahweh shall give thee a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have non-assurance of thy life. With all this, Zephaniah, 11:5. Those who sold you and possess you shall slay you, and they shall be not guilty. So if you go to Zephaniah chapter 11 verse 5, you have people who sold us, the same people who sold us, they're killing us. You know what I'm saying? They getting all free. Look at what's happening. And we always like, oh man, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen. We're not sure. Everybody's on edge. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and fear night. Because they getting us in the day, they getting us in the night, it don't matter. And shall have non-assurance of thy life. 67. In the morning thou will say, with Elohim it was evening. Like, man, I wish it was nighttime. And at evening thou will say, with Elohim it was morning. So it's like if it's in the morning, you're like, man, I wish it was night. If it was at night, man, I wish it was in the morning. Like Deuteronomy 28, 67. With Elohim in the morning, for the fear of thy heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thy eyes which thou shalt see. Now, I'm bringing it all back where I started. Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. Check this out. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. Not that physical Egypt, but this place that's like Egypt. Look at the Washington Monument. It's like the Egyptian obelisk. Look at the American, look at the bird, look at the bald eagles like the phoenix. Look on your dollar. You have the pyramid. They have a lot of themes and a lot of principles of Egypt that they do here. This is the new Egypt. So, and we are the slaves of the Egypt. So you had Hebrews, they were slaves in the old Egypt. We're Hebrews, we're slaves in this Egypt. Right? So, and Yahweh, so Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 68. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Ships, you have cargo. You know, like we export products, we export stuff. We are that product. We was the first thing that was sold on the stock market. And Yahweh shall bring thee in Egypt again with ships. By the way, whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold, right? People brought you and sold you, and you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So I'm about to wrap it up. Your blessing is economic. That's your economic advantage. Your curse is the economic advantage for the nations, for your enemies. When you were sold, you was an economic advantage for your enemies. When you was on the slave, when you was on the fields, you was an economic advantage. And why did all this happen? Because we sinned. We wasn't righteous. So we need to make Tzedakah righteousness we need to make that our economic strategy. Hallelujah. Now I'm gonna read one more thing. I'm gonna be done here. Check it out. Deuteronomy chapter 4. Deuteronomy chapter 4. Check this out. This is a very key thing. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 2. You shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of Yahweh your Elohim, which I command you. Now check this out. All right. Verse 8. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 8. And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? That's us. 9. Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thy eyes have seen, and lest thou depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons. Now, hold on. I want to read. Oh, here we go. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 12. This is what we got to do, family. This is what got us into this problem. And Yahweh, so Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 12. And Yahweh spake unto you, out of the midst of the fire. Ye heard the voice of the words, but saw no similitude, only ye heard a voice. That means when Yah was speaking to you, you didn't see no form. Yah is not a man or a son of man. You didn't see no form. Remember, and when Yahweh spoken to you out of the midst of the fire, ye heard the voice of words. You heard the word of Yah, but saw no multitude, only ye heard a voice, right? 13. And he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments, and he wrote them upon 2 tablets of stone. Check this out. 14. And Yahweh commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that you may do them in the land which you go over to possess it. 15. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that Yahweh spoke unto you in the Horeb out of the midst of the fire. 16. Look, this is how we corrupted ourselves. Listen up. Lest you corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female. If you're making any gods out of any male or female, you have to stop it, because that's not righteous. And remember, if it's not righteous, it's going to be an economic advantage for the nations. And you know what's crazy? A lot of these nations that's having economic advantage over us, they worship these woods and stones and men and women. I'm trying to help you. Righteousness as our economic strategy. Hear what I'm saying? So we cannot do this. Lest you corrupt yourself and make you a graven image. That means something that you're working with your hand. A graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female. So you can't be saying, hey man, you know, the black man is God, the black woman is God. We can't make anything. Because remember, Yahweh Elohim is spirit. Ruach is wind, is breath, is spirit, is invisible. If you look up Yahweh, Yod, He, Wahe. Yod means he willed. Hawa means breathe. So Yahweh, one form of the name, that means he will breathe. And breath is the evidence of life. We serve a living Elohim, not the Elohim of the dead. You see what I'm saying? Check this out. So we're not supposed to make the likeness of any male or female or worship any male or female. For Yah's not a man or a son of man. That's where we're messing up. 2, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth. That means cows. That means alligators. That means dogs. That means falcons. Anything. The likeness of any beast that is on the earth. The likeness of any winged fowl. The phoenix. All these that fly in the air. The likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground. The beetles. All these different things. The likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth. So we can't worship anything on the earth or anything in the water. Now check this out. This is when people go into the cosmos and start worshiping constellations. We cannot do that. Other nations, they can do whatever. We, the ones who was bought as slaves, who is the economic advantage for the whole world, the so-called African American and the Indian Ocean slave trade, transatlantic slave trade, the Islamic slave trade, the Christian slave trade, even the Jews had us as slavery. That's how you know we are the real ones. Check this out. At least thou lift up thy eyes. Remember, we were slaves in Egypt too. We can't do none of that stuff. Least thou lift up thine eyes into heaven. And when thou seest the sun, Zeus, whatever, these different nations they worship in the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the host of the heavens should be driven to worship them and serve them, which Yahweh the Elohim had divided into all the nations under the whole earth. This is what he's saying. You have the nations, they be worshiping the heavens, the constellations, the zodiacs, horoscopes, the sun, moon, and the stars. Yah created that stuff. Why would we be worshiping creation? We're supposed to worship the Creator. The created spirit. He is invisible. He's energy. He created the sun, moon, the stars, and all those things. So why are we worshiping that stuff? He created man and woman. Why are we worshiping the vagina? Why are we worshiping the penis? Why are we worshiping these things? Yah created us. You can't worship something that's when we begin into all this sexual worship and all this extra other stuff. And now we're defiling. All that stuff is the reason why when we have sexual exploitation, that's economic advantage for our enemies. Strip clubs, porn, all this stuff. That's economic advantage for our enemies. We're supposed to be having righteous unions, righteous marriages, not thoughts, not hoes, not jump offs, all this stuff. No, we had righteous monogamy. We had righteous polygyny. Everybody was supposed to serve Yah. So if everybody was serving Yah, then all the children, all of the people supposed to be in covenant, so the families will be blessed, and the more children be fruitful, multiply. When we had righteous children, righteous unions, we had a righteous nation, righteous culture, then we can build up our economy for our economic advantage. So righteousness is the economic weapon. All right. It says, but Yahweh has taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt, to be unto him a people of inheritance, as ye are this day. Furthermore, Yahweh was angry with me for your sakes. Oh, well, yeah. All right. So anyway, we should not worship man. We should not worship woman. We should not worship anything in the heavens, anything on earth, anything in the seas, the sun, moon, and the stars, sex, none of this stuff. We can't worship none of this stuff. And if we follow Tzedakah, have a lifestyle of Tzedakah, that is our economic strategy. And hallelujah. So the invisible is greater than the physical. Hear what I'm saying? Oxygen, what you need to live. Can you see it? Nope. But if you don't have this invisible thing, you will not live. Carbon dioxide, right? Can you see it? Can you smell it? Can you taste it? Nope. If that comes into your area, you will die. The invisible is more powerful than the physical. Your thoughts is more powerful than your body. Think about it. Hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, may Yah bless you. May Yah keep you. May Yah shine his face upon you and give you peace. I pray that anyone who sees this video, anyone who's listening, I pray that Yah gives us the spirit to repent for our ancestors' sins, repent for our parents, grandparents, our sins, and us. We move forth in righteousness because that will secure our economy. Because racism is economic. So your freedom is economic. Blessings is economic for you. Curses is economic for them. When we was brought over here, to this country, it was all the nations. Here, let me read something. You know what I'm saying? We got to follow whatever Yah tells us. We got to follow his word. We got to come back to the covenant. You know what I'm saying? Now check this out. I'm going to read something. Check this out. Now this is crazy. All right, this is crazy. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I'm about to go to something right quick. I'm just about to read something to you. All right. Check this out. Now, this is in Romans chapter 11, verse 10. No, verse 11. I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? Elohim forbid. But rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles for to provoke them to jealousy. Now, if Romans chapter 11, verse 12. Now, if the fall of them, us, be the riches of the world and the diminishing of them, the riches of the Gentile, how much more their fullness? So Romans 11, 12. It says, now if the fall of Israel, remember, our wickedness. Hear what I'm saying? Romans 11, verse 12. Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world, why? Because our wickedness is the economic advantage of all the nations of the world. Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world and the diminishing of them, the riches of the Gentile, how much more their fullness? So let's get back to righteousness so we can have the economic power. And when we're righteous, we have the protection from the Creator. And he will help us and he will get into our minds to be wise on what to do and what not to do. You know what I'm saying? So I pray this edify. I hope this helps as we go forth. Just know that racism is economic. So your freedom is economic. We don't worship money. And we don't worship the love of money. We worship Yah. We follow him. We follow righteousness. And he stated, and I'm going to read this one last time. In Deuteronomy, I'm going to leave you with this. In Deuteronomy 28, verse 12. Yahweh shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven to give the rain unto thy land in his season, and to bless all the work of thy hand, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. So let's get on it, family. I pray this help. Shalom. Kamelahi, Kamelaha, Kamelakum, Dananesh. I don't know all the languages. You know, Habib with Noxon, Assalamu alaikum, all that. I'm just letting everybody know that us Hebrews, because you know you have Hebrews, you have some Hebrews, some of us are speaking Arabic, but we still Hebrews. You have some Hebrews speaking Somali, but we still Hebrews. See, when I get into these languages, I'm speaking to my Hebrew family that are in these different places. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got Hebrews in Eritrea, we got Hebrews in Ethiopia, Somalia, all over the world. We went to all the nations. So I'm gonna sign off with that. I hope that helps. And may Yah bless you, may Yah keep you, may He shine His face upon you and give you peace. Shalom, shalom. So we got to get on our economics. Oh, and let me say one last thing. Yes, we're supposed to pray, but faith without works is dead. Let me say this. Yes. Let me tell you something. In Egypt, when Yah told Moses to tell the children of Israel that the death Malachim or whatever was coming, if you did not follow the command and put the blood of the lamb on the doorpost, you would have died. You would have prayed, but you would have died. Because what you had to do was put the blood of the doorpost. Put the blood on your doorpost. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Let me hit you with one more thing, then I'm gone. Check this out. This is the basic necessities of life. This is in Wisdom of Sirach. I got to read this to you. Family. I got to read this to you. Wisdom of Sirach. Hold on one second. I can't leave without doing that. I almost forgot. Check this out. Hold on one second. Wisdom of Sirach. It's talking about the basic necessities. Check this out, family. All right. So, Ecclesiasticus or Wisdom of Sirach. Check this out. So, if you're following me, Ecclesiasticus, this is in the, I think this is in the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus or Wisdom of Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 29, verse 21. The first thing in life is water and bread and clothing and a house for the sake of privacy. Ecclesiasticus chapter 29, verse 21. Wisdom of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 29, verse 21. I'll read it again. The first thing in life is water and bread and clothing and a house for the sake of privacy. Now check this out. I'm going to go to Wisdom of Sirach, chapter 39. All right, check this out. All right, so Wisdom of Sirach, chapter 39, verse 26. It says, the prime needs of human beings for living is water, fire, iron, and salt, wheat, flour, milk, and honey, the juice of the grape, oil, and clothing. All these are good for those who are good, but turn out bad for sinners. I just wanted to leave you with that. So Wisdom of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 29, verse 21. And Wisdom of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, verse 26 and 27. Actually, me and my business partner, these are the two verses that we have come together. This is what we're used as our economic, as our business strategy. This is our motto. This is our foundation. We have to do Tzedakah business. You have to be righteous, even in business. Pray to Yah. Pray that He bless stuff. Make sure everybody's on point. Make sure everybody righteous. Ain't no Shark Tank. Ain't no crab in the barrel. None of that. We got to love our people. We got to do righteously. You know what I'm saying? So I pray that this helps. And I think in Jeremiah, it tells you to build, keep having children, build families. Let's do that. So, in conclusion, your blessing is economic. Curses is economic. Righteousness is economic. Wickedness is economic. Slavery is economic. Your freedom and sovereignty is economic. But if you have Tzedakah, righteousness, as your economic strategy, Us as a people, we will do good. May y'all bless you. May y'all keep you. May he shine his face upon you and give you peace. Shalom, shalom.
Afro-Asiatic, I'm Afro-Asiatic, yeah. Hebrew Israelite, Shemitic descent. She's Afro-Asiatic, I'm Afro-Asiatic, yeah. Southern, I am Central, but we still have descent. Yo.